Will one of you finally give me what I desire? Yes, we will.
What's going on, guys? RBG here, bringing you more coverage on Marvel Spider-Man 2, the highly anticipated follow-up to the first game in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. In our last video, we discussed the alleged leaks posted on Reddit by a user claiming to be a part of the traversal team, and that video did exceptionally well. So to keep the hype going, and as well as motivate me to churn out more Spider-Man content, I'm asking you to like the video. Yeah, I know it's annoying to get this request as soon as you've clicked on the video, but YouTube's algorithm sort of encourages it. So if you rock with your boy and you know I'm gonna bring you that awesome content, then smash that like button. And if by any chance you find yourself making it to the end of the vid and feel as if you wasted 10 minutes of your life, then feel free to take that like back and give it a dislike. But yeah, guys, about a week ago we had gotten these supposed leaks on Reddit discussing things pertaining to the traversal and suits in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and although these details and the person posting them weren't able to be validated, a lot of the things that were mentioned seem likely. So if you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend you check it out. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the game's tone as well as what went into the designs for Peter and Miles' new advanced suits. These details come via an episode of This Week in Marvel podcast, where Creative Vice President of Marvel Entertainment Bill Roseman gave fans a brief insight into what they can expect from Spider-Man 2. With the inclusion of Venom and the unconfirmed but obvious Kraven the Hunter, things are bound to get more serious for Peter and Miles. It's gonna be the ultimate challenge for our two web slingers, and many fans are speculating how dark will Insomniac go this time around. And according to Bill Roseman, Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be a little bit darker. He says, and I quote, "I can tell you that the story very much picks up after Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Don't want to reveal too much, but it's the next big chapter. All I'm gonna say is that if the first Spider-Man game was the Star Wars, then the second installment will be Empire, meaning it'll be a little darker." So as you hear, Marvel Spider-Man 2 will kinda be opposite from the first game in terms of its tone. I mean, don't get me wrong, Marvel Spider-Man 1 did have certain subplots that definitely took it to a dark place. Moments that easily come to mind would have to be Tombstone's introduction, where he decapitates one of his henchmen, and watching Dr. Otto Octavius descend into madness as he obsesses over seeking revenge against Norman Osborn were prime examples of that. I mean, for the most part, the first two entries had a moderately vibrant tone in terms of story and aesthetics, but based on the visual representation from the first reveal trailer for Spider-Man 2, you can just tell that Insomniac is going to push the darkness even further. It's important to note that they've already confirmed that the trailer was running on the actual game engine, which gives you an idea of the graphical presentation. When I first saw this, it instantly put me in the mind of Batman Arkham Knight, where everything is dark and gritty. Like, for a game that came out 6 years ago, it still checks all the boxes that a lot of the more recent games simply don't. But Marvel Spider-Man 2 is going to take that grimy aesthetic to a whole other level with the PlayStation 5's hardware. It definitely captures the more grittier side of New York as opposed to the first entry that showed a more colorful take on the city that never sleeps. Because you see the dead leaves on the ground, which alludes to the game taking place during the fall, and there's random trash being blown in the wind. I can see this creating the perfect setting for multiple encounters with Venom, where you meet him in dark alleys like in the trailer. Like, any nighttime scene is gonna make the character look really good, like how he does in the live action movies. I'm hoping that the ray tracing feature allows certain lights to reflect off his costume, since it's obviously an organic alien alloy. Speaking of costumes, Bill Roseman also goes more in detail on the new advanced suits for Peter and Miles. He mentioned that since the game would be developed for the PS5, the team wanted to update the patterns and textures a little while retaining familiarity. The once vibrant reds have now been made more bold on Peter's costume, and the web patterns are a lot deeper. Something else that you may have noticed is that the lenses on Peter and Miles' masks have this black hue on the edges, which instantly put me in the mind of the Black Raimi suit from Spider-Man 3. Not sure if that's a deliberate reference, but given the fact that this game will be making their own version of the Black Symbiote, I like to think it is. I really feel like this game is going to capture that black alien liquid substance like no other game has before. The only game that's come close would have to be Web of Shadows, but even that had limitations due to the hardware it was developed on. Thankfully, we've reached a console generation that boasts more than enough power to emulate the symbiote effects seen in movies like Spider-Man 3 and Venom. Anytime I think of these effects, Death Stranding pops in my mind, where you see that black substance that surrounds you anytime a BT is near. If Kojima Productions could pull that off on last-gen hardware, then the sky is the limit on what Insomniac can do with the PS5. But anyways, in regards to other details for Marvel Spider-Man 2, Roseman remained relatively tight-lipped. But he did, however, go into more detail about Insomniac's upcoming Wolverine game, which was also showed off in a brief teaser trailer at this year's PlayStation Showcase. He says, and I quote, "We will eventually reveal when Wolverine is aimed to launch. For more, go back and study those trailers. They are packed with details and Easter eggs." And he mentioned that although a hefty amount of clues were discovered by fans of the Wolverine trailer, there was still a few things that hadn't been discovered, one of which was featured on the bar Logan was drinking at. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't point this out during my breakdown, but if you look close, you'll notice a random eye patch laying next to his arm. And when you think of Marvel and an eye patch, Nick Fury instantly comes to mind. I'm not sure if this is an implication that he'll be in Marvel's Wolverine, but I think this would be the perfect debut for the character. It's already being heavily implied that Insomniac is creating an expanded Marvel game universe, specifically the Earth 1048 universe, which you can see multiple references to in both Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine's reveal trailers. Having Nick Fury appear in multiple games to bridge the gaps between the stories, similar to how he does in the movies, would be so sick. But we'll just have to wait and see if this Easter egg reference does in fact mean that he'll indeed make an appearance / debut in Marvel's Wolverine. But anyways, that's all the details Bill provided. I know a lot of you were probably looking to get more details on Venom and who will be his host, but unfortunately Marvel and Insomniac are keeping that secret close to the chest. We're not sure if this character will even be playable, which a lot of fans are hoping he will. I think I speak for everyone when I say that the devs need to focus on making Venom as scary as possible. Like, they absolutely have to nail the horror aspect with this character. I want there to be moments where I'm casually free roam swinging through New York and all of a sudden Venom attacks me. Kinda like how the Taskmaster was in the first game, except a lot more jump scares. Like, I take full advantage of the PlayStation 5 hardware such as ray tracing, where if I'm swinging I can see Venom's reflection in a building window like he's creeping up on me or something. Because that's what Venom does. He messes with Peter and exploits the fact that his spider sense can't always detect him. Just that attention to detail would be insane. But with that, I think I'm gonna end this video. I know that this interview has been out for about 2 weeks now, but I know you guys love hearing my thoughts on things that I think may or may not happen in the game. So I thought I'd go ahead and get the video out to all. But anyways, let me know what you think. Do you think Insomniac will push the dark storytelling to a whole other level like Bill Roseman suggests? And what do you think they should do in terms of gameplay for Venom? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, I ask you to like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help me improve on future videos. But by any chance, if you enjoyed this video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it with all your friends and followers on social media outlets. Sharing really makes a difference. But once again, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.